Ahead of the World Trade Symposium on the 6th of November in New York this year, we wanted to spend some time exploring the partnership between The Economist and Finastra and understand what is so exciting about this year's event.
Trade is obviously a global concept, and we've hosted the World Trade Symposium now twice in a row in London. Last year we made a commitment that we would move it to New York, so we're just executing on that commitment to make the conversation more global in nature and bring it to the center of the current highlight of the trade tensions, which is the United States. And we're very proud and pleased to do that together with our friends over at The Economist, because this is one of the discussions of our time. And if there is a considered, thought-provoking partner to have with us, there's no doubt it's The Economist and Emma at the helm.
And Emma, so what can we expect from this year's event, given the relationship that Finastra and The Economist have?
The Economist is incredibly excited to be partnering with Finastra on the World Trade Symposium this year. The Economist was established 176 years ago to champion free trade and free markets, and that still very much stands today. And we continue to comment on the international investment and open trade. In terms of what we're bringing to the event this year, it's very much around our convening power, something that we pride ourselves on. So we are focused on bringing business, finance, policymakers and influential people to have this discussion on world trade.
We have a packed agenda. What do you think will be top of mind for delegates and speakers this year?
Yeah, so picking up on the language that Emma used, so this notion of open trade and open finance and open approaches to facilitating global trade, I think is going to be on everyone's mind. You know, we're in a context right now where for about 5 years, the growth in trade and the growth in trade finance has been subdued, it's been compressed, it's been similar to GDP, where typically it's twice the rate of GDP. This is not a good thing. It means we're keeping hundreds of millions of people embedded in poverty. Trade is now starting, the trade wars is starting to tip over into the real economy. You're seeing alerts and noise, and the yield curve is inverted, and there's a lot of tension. So I think the context for the meeting will be contextual. It'll be this moment in time is very worrying, but I think it will also be profound, which is how should we think about that midterm, about bringing back open trade and open finance to support it?
I think there's going to be a lot that's going to be top of mind, considering the current geopolitical climate. A couple of things, the multilateral and bilateral trade agreements. I think this is very much going to be top of mind for people and how that impacts global economies. We have the WTO featured on the open plenary, which is really going to help kickstart those discussions. The other thing is obviously that trade war between China and the US, which is never out of the news, and there'll be specific focus on tech and trade issues around that conflict and what that means going forward.
I guess with all that said, Simon, why would you encourage people to register for the World Trade Symposium?
So this is a very senior, very thought-provoking invitation only for, as you well said, policymakers, corporates, financial institutions, technology players, the actors in the system that can actually do something about open trade and about open finance and take the debate a step further and a step farther to convene. But now we want to go to a more global audience. We'd like to appeal to the United States, Canadians, Latin Americans to join us on this journey. It's an incredibly powerful forum.